Did you know you can sponsor your favorite podcast on the Spin Market Podcast Network? Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Stockdale, host of the Spin Market Report. In the past year, our podcasts have had over 20,000 total streams, and our YouTube channels have had over 1 million views. Whether you're promoting a product, service, or event, we'll help you reach the audience that matters. Get more information on how to sponsor a podcast at spinmarketwith2ks.com. Spin Market. Your business, your message, our platform.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
All right, we are back. It's Marketing Monday.
Yes, Marketing Monday.
Gotta love it. It's one of my favorite days of the week because we are here with another new guest. We have Dave and Dave from Beisser Lumber. I'm not going to mess this one up. It's Dave and Dave. But Dave Sorenson and Dave Ling are here. Before we get too deep into this, can you describe what you guys do for Beisser Lumber?
Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. So I'm the manager of the Fort Dodge branch for Beisser Lumber. I've been doing that for 3 years now.
And I get to serve as our CEO. So I've been with Beisser Lumber. It'll be 5 years in February.
Nice. That's really cool. So let's get into what is Beisser Lumber. Like, can you share the story of like how it was founded, or it was right here in Fort Dodge, correct?
Yeah. Beisser Lumber started in 1953 by Fritz and Marion Beisser right here in Fort Dodge. So the company's evolved certainly since 1953. Originally, Fritz and Marion were selling shingles. You know, it's kind of a funny story how they got into lumber. There was a distributor that was driving through town and his truck had overturned. And that driver didn't have time or didn't want to just pick up the material. So he just took off, and Fritz said, I'll pick it up and I'll take care of it. So he made an offer, and he bought the lumber as it was on the side of the road and picked it up and brought it back and sold it. And through that, he earned distribution rights with that manufacturer, and that's really how they got into lumber.
Oh,
That's
wow.
so cool.
What a story.
Yeah.
That's
a classic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one man's trash is another man's treasure. to create a company like this, that's wild.
That's been going on for over 75 years.
Yeah, almost 75.
Almost 75 years.
So,
Okay.
2028 will be 75 years,
Yeah.
I think. Cool. My notes are good this week. So,
And family owned the entire time.
That's right.
So while we're on the family-owned topic, how about values and mission? What are the guiding principles of Beisser Lumber? Because I know you guys have expanded since Fort Dodge, but has it always kind of been the same since you guys started?
Yeah, I think that's one of the really unique things, or special things that I think about Beisser Lumber. We started really the virtues of our business were to take care of our community, to offer good jobs, to friends and family. Just to do the right things. And that was Fritz and Marion's, that was kind of their vision. And their son, Kim Beisser, took the company over when he was 24 years old and led the business in a very similar manner. And I think those are still the fundamental virtues that guide us. We say we're a company that's built on friendships, and those friendships really are rooted right here in Fort Dodge. It's where it all started. So I think, we certainly want to do the right things for our customer. That's our focus. And we support them in developing and building great communities. That is our vision. We say that we do that through building relationships. And again, it just comes back to just doing the right things and taking good care of each other.
Yeah, you can't get much better business model than that. Just taking care of the customer, and the rest of it just takes care of itself. It kind of sounds like. Not that it's easy work to take care of the customer always, but that's why you guys are doing what you're doing, is to go out there and do the right thing by them. So how's the company evolved over the years? We'll get a little bit deeper into this, but I know that you guys have expanded. Yeah. You went through a CEO change, ownership change type thing. So how has it evolved since 1953? You said.
I think family businesses are really unique in that regard, because there's evolutions to every business. There's generational evolution to the business, just like our family business. But there's product changes, and our customers change and things evolve. And just like with Beisser Lumber, we started selling shingles essentially, and then kind of found ourselves with a distribution rights to selling lumber, and so you kind of keep bringing on more and more products. So yeah, there's been a lot of change. I started with the company. I actually married into the business, so I didn't grow up in lumber. I feel very fortunate to be part of the business today. But we've got such a great team, but that's been a change, right? And it's not just family owned. We do have some employee shareholders as well.
Oh, cool.
Which is a really kind of unique thing for Beisser Lumber. So, but all of those things kind of create change. So yeah, it's a big part of our business.
Absolutely. Dave, Dave Sorenson, what brought you into the lumber industry then? We got one part of the story here, but what brought you into the lumber business?
So I started as a part-time employee in a lumberyard in Ames. I just graduated from Iowa State, and I was looking for a job, and I graduated in agricultural studies. And my dream was to farm with my grandfather. Well, in the time when I was at college, he ended up going through some financial troubles, lost some of his land, and then I running different programs. It's like, well, this isn't going to work. It's more investment than I wanted, and I started part-time at a lumberyard, and the owner of the lumberyard talked to me about, hey, this could be a good career. And I thought, well, I hadn't thought about it, and it turned out to be really good, and I enjoyed it. I married a girl from the Fort Dodge area, and we ended up trying to move back here, and that's how I got to this area. And it's been joked that it's like a cult. Once you get in, you can't get out.
Is that Fort Dodge in general?
Or just the lumber business.
The lumber business.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get in. But yeah, I've been doing it since 1990. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So for you to do it that long, there's got to be something in this for you that's rewarding. Like, what's the most rewarding part of this job for you?
I really enjoy. There's some different projects that I've been involved in that I really enjoy helping people. There's a couple of projects I've been involved with where we were trying to figure out how to lay something out or what they could do, and I came up with ideas for them, and they just hadn't thought of that, thinking outside the box a little bit, and so helped their project along, and then they're so happy with the end result. It's just working with people on their projects has been the greatest reward, and working with other people, employees, and helping them figure out what to do and how to do it.
I never even thought of that too, because like construction is kind of like the basis for the people that are buying a lot of your guys' stuff, but it's so open-ended. There's not really like, you don't just go online and be like, blueprint for a building, here it is. Yeah. Every building's the same. It's like every single project that every single person has is different. So maybe they didn't think of something that you might have thought about, or like you have the advantage of having multiple people come through with all these different ideas for projects. You can kind of borrow a little bit from this person and borrow it over here to that person. And that's really kind of cool. Dave, the other Dave, how about you? What's the most rewarding part about this for you?
I would say similar to Dave. I think my favorite part is just working with the people, whether that's our customers or our team. We've got great customers, and we have a fantastic group of team members. So Beisser Lumber really has a can-do attitude, and I think that kind of gets to Dave's point. Every project is a little different, and when somebody comes in with a challenge, whether it's a home that needs windows replaced, or if it's a deck, or if it's a challenging addition, just to be able to have the resources to be able to help with that and guide them through the project, whether that's product suggestions or something, getting into the plans and the engineering behind it. That's a lot of fun. I'd say my favorite project though it wasn't a house, it wasn't an apartment, it wasn't a hotel. My father-in-law has been a big fan of the Drake relays for a long time. And my mother-in-law was a professor at Drake. She retired from Drake University as a professor. And so the Drake relays have been something that's just been kind of a fun thing. I think my father-in-law has been going to the relay since he was like 5 years old, and his family's had the same tickets forever.
Oh, wow.
And they still, Fritz and Marion bought the tickets originally, and Kim still has the same seats. So, but they approached Beisser Lumber. They do a special event. It's a pole vault event that kind of kicks the relays off. And
they do it inside the mall.
So they've done it in many different places. They'll do it outside some,
depending
some years,
on the weather.
Or, they'll pick a unique venue to do this. Yeah, you're familiar. So the relays approached Beisser Lumber and said, "Hey, we want to do this kind of special event but we need to build a runway. Is that something you could help with? And so Beisser Lumber certainly supplied all the material, but we actually did the design and the layout and the construction of this runway. And so it's been used, I think, maybe 3 or 4 times. Most recently, a couple years ago, they set it up. You're right, inside Jordan Creek Mall, kind of in that main atrium.
Because it's really
area.
fun to see the pole vaulter go, and the top rail of people are watching it, and he's going or she's going up about as high as they are.
Wow.
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
it
over.
was, with that second level,
Yes.
it was incredible. But yeah, that was just a very unique project and not something that we do every day. But again, it kind of gets back to that can-do spirit inside Beisser Lumber, and it's like, well, let's think about this. Yeah, I think we can.
That's
build
awesome.
a runway.
What a great story. I mean, I did not know anything about that. That's really exciting.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, that's one of those things you can prepare for this all you want, and you just never know what's going to come out of this. This is so fun. So another thing, let's shift gears a little bit. I know there used to be a lumber yard in Humboldt, and a lot of, when I was younger growing up, let's say 80s or 90s, like lumber yards used to be like a little tiny storefront, and then you drive your truck around back and get the lumber. It's not like that anymore. I've looked your guys' lumber yards up online. You guys have a showroom. I mean, the whole 9 yards. So let's kind of go into, if somebody stepped foot into a Beisser Lumber for the first time, like what's something you would want to show them?
Maybe you can start with that, Dave, like here in Fort Dodge, and then we can talk a little bit about some of the other stuff we have going in Des Moines.
Yeah, as far as somebody coming to us for the first time, I guess, the first thing you're going to meet is people, meet our sales staff, and I want them to meet them and to know that they're there to help. They want to be involved in their project. They want to help them find the best products that fit their needs, kind of thing. And that's really, I think, a lot of how the business has changed. There's just so many options. Our inventory is, I'd say it's tripled since I started, at least. And just there's so many engineered products and stuff like that are out there that people don't necessarily know about. And just the opportunity to talk to them about that and say, hey, this might be something that would work for you, and it would save you some time, save you some money. So, that you talk about how lumber yards have changed, and yet Fort Dodge is still probably very similar. I mean, you come into the office and you drive around back to pick up lumber still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's the business has changed a lot in that there's just so many options of what you can do. Yeah. And so
how about other locations then?
Yeah, it's similar. So it's you kind of, in essence, you walk in and you get your ticket and you drive around back. In our Grimes and Coralville locations, that's still kind of how it operates. It's just to drive around back, it's a little bit further because it's a much bigger property. But really, if a customer were to walk in, the first thing, our team is going to do is just ask questions. What are they looking for? What do they need? Our customers kind of vary. We've got builders, professional builders and contractors that come in and they know exactly what it is that they're looking for and exactly what they need. And we've got, some kind of the weekend DIYers that generally know that they're looking for decking products, but they don't necessarily know the specifics. So the first thing we're going to do is just ask questions and try to understand what their project is. And then we'll, certainly guide them and try to help them make the best selection possible. So
that's awesome, because that's what I would need. I would go in there and be like, I need wood to build something. I don't know anything else about it. So we had talked about other locations. Can we talk about the expansion like out of Fort Dodge? Because it started here in Fort Dodge, but you have locations in, what do we got here? Grimes, Coralville, Johnston.
Yes, that's right.
All right. So can we talk about the expansion process and what that was like?
Yeah. The expansion kind of going back from, when there was just one location here in Fort Dodge. Again, this, we say Beisser Lumber, again, it's a company built on friendship. So my father-in-law took the business over when he was 24 years old, bought it from his parents, Fritz and Marion, and had this vision of expanding into the Des Moines market. So when he did that, when he made the decision to do that, his first phone call was his childhood best friend, Pat Mashik, who's also, the Mashiks are a Fort Dodge family as well. And Kim and Pat just kind of took off together and started, growing this business in a brand new market in Des Moines. So they had a lot of success, and the company just continued to grow. So in, I think, 2004, 2005, the property that we currently operate out of in Grimes, which is our headquarter, headquarters, they expanded and moved into Grimes. So moved from about a 2-acre property downtown Des Moines to a 12-acre property in Grimes. Which,
so that was before Grimes was Grimes,
yeah,
as we see it today.
It was a cornfield.
Yes,
that's right.
It was a cornfield at that time.
But my father-in-law, he's had great vision, and he just knew that was going to be a great location for the business. It was on the railroad, so we have a spur that goes into that location. And we're kind of right in the middle of the entire city, so it's a great property for us. That was 2005, probably 2006, 2007, expanded into Coralville. And then most recently, we just opened a new millwork facility in Johnston that we're really excited about.
Awesome. What was the property on your guys' website? It's like the aerial shot of like the lumber yard on the corner. Which location is that?
That's probably Grimes, I would guess. And just to give you a visual, Coralville is pretty much the exact same layout.
Cool.
Yep.
Dude, I saw that online. I was like, this looks really awesome. So that's a cool shot on your guys' website there for sure.
Thank you.
One of the things we've talked about as you've kind of come and gone in the office here a little bit is adding emphasis back to Fort Dodge. You guys have expanded out of Fort Dodge, but you basically want to be like, hey, we're still here at Fort Dodge though.
Yeah.
So as you're adding emphasis back to Fort Dodge, like what has the community's response to that been?
I'll let Dave chime in on this too. I maybe have a little bit of a unique perspective just because I haven't been in the business forever. And, so as I've joined Beisser Lumber and getting familiar with all of our locations and all of our team members, Fort Dodge has just always it's been really fun for me to come and visit and try to plug into. And I grew up in Ames, so I was a little Cyclone. So, grew up in the same conference competing against Fort Dodge. And I just, I always knew that there was a lot of pride in Fort Dodge because every time we whether it's football, baseball, wrestling.
Everybody came out.
And it was always, we knew that it was going to be a tough matchup. So Fort Dodge has been a lot of fun to plug into for me, just, not being the legacy Beisser Lumber guy and just kind of learn about the community. And there's a lot of vibrance here. There's a lot of activity, people are, it seems like citizens of Fort Dodge are really engaged in their community. And I think the best word that I can describe it is just pride. So, we're not trying to certainly reinvent ourselves or do anything different. It's more just, how do we make sure that we're plugged in, we're engaged, we're involved. And that's really kind of where Dave comes in, I think, with some of the things that you've done over the last couple of years.
And it has been rewarding. It's been good. And I think that Beisser has always been a presence here, and they've always been concerned with the community. Marion Beisser would take time, and she visited a lot of people who were shut in and couldn't get out. She was always the conscience of Beisser Lumber. She really cared about people, cared about employees, which was really, really neat. The first thing that's one of the people that really inspire me is her. And but as I've gotten more involved, taken over the role of the manager of this location, and I was part of the Fort Dodge leadership program.
Cool.
And
Yay.
Yeah.
We have leadership today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There.
Yep,
so,
yep, yeah. And we have an employee in that now.
Yes, you do. And your son.
Yeah.
Your son is in
Isaiah.
it.
Yep.
And today is the scavenger hunt.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Which is a hoot.
That is
and
a lot of fun.
I have to be there for it to help do it, so I can't wait. It's hilarious seeing everybody run in and go, am I first? Am I first? Am I first?
Yeah, we lost miserably last year. Oh, well, we had fun. So it's been really good to meet a lot of different people in the community, get to know them, and the response has been amazing. It's been good. I want to do more of that. It's a little challenging for someone who's introverted, but we're working on it.
So as technology changes everything, one of the things is it changes not only, let's say, like how you process wood, but like I'm sure you guys deal with lumber that's not even technically like just a piece of wood anymore. You guys probably have composites and all sorts of things there at your office. But like, let's talk about some of the specialized and unique things and how technology has changed, your guys' operation over the last 70 plus years.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that lumber's been on the cutting edge of technology.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
But certainly technology is picking up a lot of steam, and even in our industry, there's a lot of. I mean, there's markets that are testing driverless delivery trucks, and I'm not like little trucks. I mean, these are semis and tandem trucks, and so I think we're a ways away from that. But it's kind of unfathomable to think that that's kind of where we're at. Simply, just little things like having online customer payment portals where customers can go online and they can view.
We love that.
Yeah, right. But these are things that are just kind of finding their way into the lumber space. A big thing for us, especially during coming out of COVID when things were really busy. Construction was, there's a lot of things going on, and it was just trying to manage job sites, but, respect distances and all of those things. Proof of delivery was a technology that we implemented, which, allowed us to go and make a delivery, take a picture, send it to the customer, let them know that it's there, where it is on their property. It's just, technology is ever changing.
Absolutely. What about custom products you guys have there? I looked up online. You custom craft doors, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And then you're also like a Windows dealer as well. So you do like window sales and things like that. Can we talk about like maybe some of the custom type stuff you guys do for people?
Yeah, those are two really big products for us. Maybe to start with the window side. So, we just want to make sure that, we're not tied to one brand. So when our customers come in, we want to make sure that we have options. And we want to make sure that we can help guide customers to, the best product for their project. So, windows, our main brands are Gherkin Windows, Sierra Pacific Windows, Anderson Windows, and then most recently, we just brought in Marvin Windows. And we're really excited about that. They're going to be a great partner for us. Just again, that kind of goes back to being able to offer a solution for really any project. And then on the door side, this is something really kind of unique for us is we do assemble our own doors. So we buy the door slabs, but then we construct them from there. So we'll put all the hinges on, the hardware, the jambs, essentially pre-hang the door. So when it goes out to your job site, it's, really take the old door out, pop the new door up. And I'm really proud of that group. I mean, they take a lot of pride in their work, and I think, the doors that we assemble, they're really high quality, and we keep it at a very competitive price point. So we do all of that manufacturing out of Johnston. So cool. we'll assemble all those doors, build all those doors in Johnston, and we'll send them to wherever they need to go.
That's super cool.
Go
for it.
Okay. I actually know somebody that used the custom door.
Oh, is that right?
They went in, they're redoing a farmhouse. It's outside of Fort Dodge, redoing a farmhouse, and they had gone in and stained the woodwork, and it wasn't the right color.
Okay.
So you guys suggested to do the doors that way.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. And they're thrilled with it. So
they, that's
totally
kind of
unsolicited as well.
That's the fun part with that team is, we can offer some of that customization to a project too. But again, that just kind of gets back to the root of who we are. We just want to make sure that we're offering the right products for that job. And, everybody takes a lot of pride in their homes. And so making sure that we're making the right selections up front is just really, really important. So, those are that group. They're assembling interior doors, and we also will get into some exterior doors. So if it's a door system that's got whether it's two doors, kind of a front French door entry, or a door with side lights, or a transom window, or something like that, we'll put all of that together in house and then ship it out to the job site.
That's super cool. One of the things I had here in my notes was it's community activism. You guys are always kind of involved in the community here in Fort Dodge. Can we touch on, maybe this is incorrect, but I'm pretty sure I saw this online, donating land for Northwoods living in Fort Dodge. Is that a thing that happened?
That did happen.
Cool.
That was before my time. But there was some family connections there with Fritz and Marion, and there was some family needs, and they just wanted to make sure that, it was kind of giving back to an employee, and it was just a really unique thing. Do you know any more of the details about that, Dave?
I really don't. That was before my time too. I just heard stories that there was an employee that had someone that was living.
That's right. That just needed some kind of long-term care, and just wanted to make sure that their family member was taken care of. And Fritz and Marion stepped in and just said, well, how about we just give you this land, and that's kind of where it started.
That's cool, because I mean that long-term benefits the whole community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool. So what about like current projects like that? You guys have anything that's current in any of the areas that you guys are at where you're kind of helping out the community by, we had mentioned the Drake relays, setting that up, the pole vault thing. So anything else kind of like that?
We do kind of the philanthropic side of our business that's also really important to Beisser Lumber. And I think that goes back to the virtues of Fritz and Marion. So, we do a lot in our communities and support a lot of different organizations. I think with that, one thing that's really exciting for me, or something fun that we've implemented, is every donation request. We wish we could say yes to everything. We can't, like most businesses, you can't. But what we did is we started, it's called our Beisser Lumber Donations Committee.
Oh, cool.
Nothing too exciting in the name.
We know what it is. You know what committee you're on.
Yep.
But so every request that comes in actually gets reviewed by a group of employees. So, in each of our communities, when we give back, we just want to make sure that our employees, our team members, are also aware of what we're doing, because it's really because of their hard work that allows us to do that. One of the events that we supported that's unfortunately not going to continue, but it was the Beisser Bowl. I don't know if you heard about the Beisser Bowl.
Let's hear about it.
So this was kind of the brainchild of a friend of mine, Nick Mosier, who's your high school head football coach.
And also head of the Fort Dodge School Foundation.
Yep. So we were having lunch, and he's like, hey, what would you guys think about like sponsoring a game? And I was like, I don't know. Tell me more. And he's like, well, we are trying to, as I understand it, the head coaches of each football team, they have to come up with their own non-conference games. And so Nick was trying to get on the schedule of Dallas Center Grimes. Those coaches were friends, and they wanted to play. And so it was, it's like, well, we started in Fort Dodge, and now we're headquartered in Grimes, and the two high schools want to play. And let's sponsor that game. So we made, through that effort, we made donations back to each team's booster club in the name of an MVP. Cool. So each side got to name an MVP of the game from their team, and we made a donation back. And we'd volunteer at the game, whether it's concessions or ticket sales or whatever. And that was a really fun community event to plug into.
That's super fun, because I mean, I feel like when people think about like, how do I get out there and do the community outreach thing, they always kind of just think like, well, I'll just put my name on a sign and we'll put it in the outfield or something. Or that's a fun idea, because you guys like have involvement in it in some capacity. Plus it's like sort of related like right back to the company anyways. So that's really, really cool. So let's talk future plans. We're talking not just Fort Dodge, but maybe we can key in on Fort Dodge. How about next 5 to 10 years? Do you have any like future goals? Or are you going to expand anywhere else? Are we going to like buy new land and build a new lumber yard in Fort Dodge? Like, what do we got going on?
I think as far as expansions, we kind of got our hands full with Johnston and, just bringing on a new location. But we're certainly really excited about that. There's certainly opportunities within our business in different departments that we want to grow. Installed sales is one, so we offer an install service. So if it's a window replacements or if it's door installs, we'll go out and we can do that, whether that's for our builder customer or for, just a homeowner that's looking for, help in that. I know there's some really cool things going on in Fort Dodge,
there is,
especially with, some of the affordable housing grants that have been awarded. I mean, that's a really big deal. And hopefully Fort Dodge is proud of that, because I think the communities that can figure out this affordability, this home affordability thing.
It was very competitive.
Those are going to be, those are going to be the communities that win, and those are going to be the communities that draw people in. So I think from our perspective, especially in Fort Dodge, is we want to be part of that. And so if we can be a resource and helping with that development, or just plugging in and advocating, I think that's where we're at with Fort Dodge. And I'm really excited about the next 5 years. I know the Growth Alliance is doing a lot just to promote the region and this community in general. So I can't tell you exactly what the next 5-7 years is going to look like, but I can tell you I'm really excited about it.
Well, I got one thing. In the next 5 years, there's going to be this small window where you guys are going to celebrate your 75th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really cool. We have other podcasts that are done here, and I go through and listen to them. And one of them is How to Money with Cole & Cole, and they talk about how infrequent it is for companies to pass down 3 generations. It's something like 1% of them are successful, and it's cool that it's gone down to the 3rd generation here. You guys are going to go 75 years. Yeah. What are plans for that? Do you guys have anything big going on? Have you been like heading up like a big old party committee? Like, in the afternoons, do you have a party hat and a kazoo and you're just thinking about what's going to go on?
Yeah, that's me. No.
It sounds just like Dave.
You said you wanted to get out, not be so introverted. So there you go. Yeah. That's going to be your
we did
job.
actually.
Dave's officially our 75th anniversary chair.
How did that happen?
It just did.
Just now.
Yeah, just now. We all agree. Everybody here
get
agrees.
The license plate number on that truck. But I think we did a little bit at the 70th, just because certain people were here that were, and we wanted to do something with that. But I think we at that time we determined we want to do more at the 75th.
75th, yeah.
Focus more on that. But.
No specific plans
yet.
We are really, I mean, to your point, though, we are really proud about where we're at, and I'm thankful to be part of that 3rd generation. Kim Beisser and his wife Sally are still certainly very much involved in our business. Kim serves as our chairman. We have other family members that are now part of our business too, which is great. So Kim has 2 daughters. I married one of them. Andrea is Kim's other daughter, and her husband George is part of our business too. He's on our install team.
Cool.
So yeah, I just think it's, it'd be great if you had a crystal ball and you could forecast over, the next 10, 15 years. But what I do know is we're really proud to be an independent lumberyard. We're really proud to be family owned, and we're really proud to have employees that see kind of the vision of what we're doing and have been willing to buy in and be part of that ownership group too.
That's so cool. And this is just something introspective for the people listening or the people driving around with this on in their car or at their desk. Think about how many cool things in this world didn't last 75 years. For a company to last 75 years, it is a big deal. So hats off to you guys for continuing on with the tradition there. Did you have something to add?
Well, I was going to say one thing that you haven't talked about is the fact that you are in the top 100 in the nation on lumber yards.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable because I guess most of them are probably bigger organizations, or a lot of them. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we do a lot with a little. So we are now in 4 locations if you add Johnston. That Johnston facility is just about 3 miles from our Grimes property. So we say 4 locations, but really, I mean, it's almost like it's 3. And there's a journal, kind of an industry publication that our industry follows. It's the LBM Journal. And every year they will rank the top 100 lumber yards across the country. And this includes, not just the independents. This is, the largest lumber yards in the country. Some that are publicly traded and some that are independent and some that are just much larger regional players. But so we, again, it's busy and our work is hard. We're outside, it's raining, it's snowing, it's hot, it's cold. It's still, we talk about technology, but it's still a very manual, labor intensive industry. And 21, maybe 22, it was so busy and our team was working so hard and it was long hours. And it's like, we should participate in this ranking and we should, kind of figure out where we're at. And
toot your own horn.
Yeah. Not necessarily to pat ourselves on the back, but just to say, hey, our work, we're really good at what we do. And so the ranking, it considers number of locations, number of employees, and revenue size. And so we submitted, and we have been on that list ever since. So one of the largest 100 lumber companies in the country, and we do it with now 4 locations. But if you look at where we're at on that list, and the dealers that are above us that have similar number of locations or fewer, it's not very many. So
Wow.
like I said, we do a lot with a little, and you know, our work is really hard, and we take pride in doing a good job. So
Well, I had no idea until we were having a conversation and you told me that, and I went, wow, you really need to promote that even more. It's an exciting thing, and it says something about Fort Dodge as well, because it all started here.
It started here, and we're proud to be from Fort Dodge.
Great.
You know, and I think something that Dave and I spent a lot of time talking about too is just, you know, Beisser Lumber's, what we say is we're one company in multiple locations. You know, so the amount of resources that we have, you know, to support our larger contractors in Des Moines, like commercial contractors and some of these big significant projects that are, you know, hundreds of units, we have that same capability here in Fort Dodge, you know, cool. And so, you know, I think that's one thing that we just want to work on, and, you know, all the exciting things that are happening here in Fort Dodge from a development standpoint and a growth standpoint, you know, just, you know, our hope is that people will kind of recognize Beisser Lumber as a trusted resource, you know, to help with some of those projects.
Trusted for sure. 70 plus years, coming up on 75. I can't stress that enough, how cool that is to go 75 years. Like, seriously, that's so awesome. Yeah. All right. So we did talk a little bit about the Drake Relays pole vault project.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have a project that was like super fun for you? One that you were just like, I can't believe I get to be involved in this, or like you come in and they tell you what they want to do and you're like, what? And then after a while, you're like, no, okay, now let's do it this way. Let's try this out. You got any fun projects?
So there's been a couple, and I helped Dale and Karen Stuckey with an addition they put on their home. Their children were adults, and they had just a lot of them, and they wanted a place to gather. So they wanted to put an addition on their home and expand their kitchen and do this neat space. So we were able to design it. We estimate it for them and come up with a plan that would work, and then to see the finished project and to see the family fill it is just really cool. So that was one of the projects that is just like, wow, it's why I do what I do. You know, it's just fun to be a part of that, see them.
You know, I never thought about that, because like if somebody comes in there like, I want to build a deck, like to me it's just like, okay, you're building a deck, but then when you see a picture of them with their whole family, you know, grilling out there or something, you know, like you said, if they're building an addition and like this is where the dining room is and the whole family's in there for Thanksgiving, that's got to feel so cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome. That's super cool. All right. So I usually ask everyone the same questions when I get down to the end of this. But before I do, is there anything I haven't mentioned that you'd like to bring up about Beisser Lumber?
You know, I can't think of anything specific. You know, maybe one thing that I didn't mention that I should is, you know, part of that expansion into Johnston. Dave mentioned this earlier, and he makes a really good point. You know, our industry, from a technology perspective, there's been a lot of evolution in product. So it's, you know, if you're going to put a deck or replace a deck on the back of your house, it's not just treated lumber anymore. I mean, all the different composite materials, and you're matching colors to your house and to your trims, and there's different textures, and there's so many different options. So part of our expansion, we that included about a 7,000 square foot showroom, where we just wanted to make sure, you know, when customers come in, they have all the options right in front of them, and they can see it, they can feel it, they can touch it. So that showroom is a really big part of, you know, our future plans too. And Fort Dodge, Joe Kaiser, I know, Dave, and some of our other team members have done a great job bringing people down, you know, just like, hey, it's a big project. Mm-hmm. Let's just take a road trip. Let's go check out the showroom, and you can make your selections down there. So
that's smart, because I mean, I would have never thought of this, but like, to you guys, this is second nature when you're just like, okay, you have this project and you can envision it in your head. But maybe for me, you know, John Q. Public, like I don't deal with this every day, so I might not know. And if you have that showroom, you can actually show people like,
that's right,
this is the thing, and this is kind of how it would look, and I can help. That's really cool, because I never even thought about that. But that makes a lot of sense. So
you have to come down and check it out.
I will have to come down and check it out. I saw it online, and it looks really cool. If you guys haven't been to the website, I'm going to put the website down below and all the links.
Oh, thanks.
So be sure to check that out. Go to their website. Look at how awesome it looks. You know, I'm in the Des Moines area a couple times a month anyways, so maybe I'll have to swing by and just say hi. Yeah. That'd be really cool. All right, so I ask everyone the same question to end every episode. This is a marketing company. This is a marketing podcast for the most part. Can you name a time in your life where marketing impacted you and you didn't really realize it until afterwards? You know, like you had the item in your hand already or something like that?
Boy, that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, everyone answers differently. If my old answer, and I still think it's probably the answer I'm going to give the most often, is food. It's almost always food, where you're just like, before you know it, you have like the new XYZ item at this chain store. And I don't know why I bought it, but it's like, I must have saw an ad for it online. Otherwise, I never would have seen or heard about it or knew it was there. But is there anything that, you know, it could be that. It could be a phone, could be a car, technology. Man,
I think probably
or maybe even within your industry.
You know, I think this is, from a marketing perspective, this is what probably blows me away more than anything. It feels like as soon as you start talking about something or you look at something somewhere, or you go to a store, like all of a sudden it starts showing up on your social media feeds.
There's a science to that.
So my son Archie, he just got a new pair of shoes, and he likes his shoes, and it's like, the shoes, they were delivered yesterday, so this is front of mind. I'm like, oh man, we just bought him another pair of shoes. Why does he need another pair of shoes? And then it's like, well, yeah, it's all over my social media, because he goes and he's looking at, what he likes and the different colors, and now all of a sudden these shoes like show up at our house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's technology right there for you, marketing.
I wish I could remember what it was, but me and the producer, Mackenzie, were talking while I was like on my way out to take a break, maybe a couple days ago. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I literally like went outside, and by the time I got to my car, I opened up my social media feed, and what we were talking about was like in the feed already.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like 3 minutes ago, we just talked about this, and it's not something I'd normally talk about, not something that would normally be on my feed. It's just boom, sponsored post right there. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
How about you, Dave? You got anything in there?
Well, I have similar experiences, of course. Like yesterday, I was looking for a glazing bead for a customer, and then I go home that night and I'm watching something on YouTube, and a glazing bead commercial comes up, of all things. It's like, oh,
how do you guys do that? How do you marketers do that?
Well,
We'll talk.
Okay. That's super cool. This has been really fun because it's one of those things. I've always kind of looked up to people who are builders. My dad was kind of a handyman. A bunch of my friends are kind of handymen. That's the kind of work they do. And it's always just kind of like, how do you guys know what to do? And how do you guys find all the parts and pieces and the wood that you need and everything like that? And this has been really, insightful to know that you guys are also there for people like me. If I'm coming with a DIY project, I got basic blueprints or something, you can help me pick out what I need. You can tell me why it's going to work or why it's not going to work. It's also nice to know that you guys have install people there. So if I come by a window and it's just like, I don't know what to do with this when I get it to my house. So you have the availability to have somebody come out and at least help out with that. And that's really kind of cool. Custom doors. I live in an old house. None of the doors are the same sizes, and none of them are standard. So everything has to be custom made. It's really cool you guys do that too. Yeah. So this has been really insightful, and I'm glad you guys stopped by to sit down and talk about this for a while.
Cool.
Thank you.
We appreciate the invitation.
Yeah.
Well, we have one more thing. We have Buster. Buster is our mascot, and that's because we are bulldogs to get you online, digitally seen. So we want you to have the best luck in the world. So we always ask you to rub Buster's head for good luck there.
All right, Buster. Bring on the good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome. All the links will be down below for Beisser Lumber. Make sure you check it out. There's locations all throughout North Central Iowa, Central Iowa, Eastern Iowa. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Maybe even further. So
that's right.
So check them out online. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Dave. I appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.